It is episode 200 on the dot, like Usher at 7 o'clock in his drop top. Welcome to the Bench Their podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all the sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I don't think there's anything we should really talk about today. We're just hanging out and having a
Nothing
good time.
happened? Nothing at all?
Nothing has happened
Nothing
for
with
the
the
first
blue
time.
team? With your favorite your second favorite team?
A second favorite team. My second, the Blue Jays.
Hey, I know everybody was on the verge of like sending off all these tweets. You know, their drafts were just like salivating. And then Kike strikes out and they're like, "Oh hell yeah, let me come up with a couple more." And then Miggy Rowe came up and just shat all over those plans.
Nobody thought Miguel Rojas was going to do anything.
No, of course not. Of course not. The fact that he went up there to bat, I was like, oh man, there's nobody to bat for him? But then I'm like, who are you going to bat for him? So, yeah, man, he went with his gut and it worked out. He became a hero. He became the hero he always wanted to be. So I'm glad if he does go out, he's going out like that.
Jazz Chisholm is punching air right now.
Yeah, I was always team Miggy.
Of course you were.
At least in that sense. At least in that sense versus Jazz. I was always team Miggy, regardless of whatever he was accused of. So there's that.
Pouring milk on his cleats and said they were trash.
But yeah, the best World Series ever? Maybe?
No.
What is your take?
Shut up. Stop. You guys said this last year. Oh, Yankees,
No,
Dodgers,
no,
Game
no, no,
7. Oh,
It
man, this is crazy. This is the best World Series ever.
We didn't have
However
a Game
years
7.
to do best World Series ever?
We didn't have a Game 7, but we did have great moments. That Game 1 walk-off was like thing of you dream of as a kid, you know?
It didn't go to Game 7? Am I stupid? Did I just say something wrong?
Yeah. Went to Game 5 where they imploded. The Yankees. Do you not remember this?
Why do I think
So many championships you remember, they're all, they get mixed up in your head. It's cool.
Get mixed up. I think the best one, just off the top of my head, that like I've seen, because that's another thing too. Like I also hate it when it's like when's the best World Series ever, and then someone our age is like, oh, 1984. You know, like come on, dude. You know, like let's talk about what we've lived through and what we can actually we actually watched. And from memory, I think the best World Series off the top of my head is probably 2011. Rangers Cardinals. David Freese walk off in the sixth.
Yeah, that was a good one too. That was a really good one. I think obviously there's a lot of recency bias. One of the things that, and I was talking to someone earlier, that irks me about the 2017 World Series is that, first of all, they didn't have to cheat. They didn't have to cheat because they were that good. And not only that, they robbed us of an amazing World Series. Like, even though we lost, I remember saying, like, damn, that's one of the best World Series I've ever seen. Like, the counter punch, like, it was
Was it Game 5 was the back and forth one?
Game 5 right? Where it was like to the last out and then Chris Taylor ties it. Like, it was just, there were so many moments. And I thought, like, it sucks that we lost, but so cool that we were part of it.
And here's the thing too. I'm not sure, and this might get Dodger fans mad at me, which is fine because fuck all you guys right now. Okay,
because we're all happy right now.
I don't care about any of your feelings right now.
Even if you try to get us mad and say that they didn't cheat in the World Series, it's not going to affect us right now because we're on.
I don't know if they could have though, because I don't think there's any trash campaigns. I mean, if the buzzer things ends up being real, then yeah, they probably cheated. But if you don't have, it's possible they didn't. It's very possible they did, but maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Who knows?
Whatever. It's neither here or that. Whatever. Who cares at this point?
Right.
We're always gonna hate them. It doesn't matter. But the point is that I thought it was a really, really good World Series, and that's the last one I compared it to. And so I thought this one, it's different when you're in it. When your team is in it, because I don't think you enjoy the plays as much as someone from the outside who can appreciate both sides. even if you do hate the Dodgers, you can still appreciate good baseball. So, I think I tweeted that out. I'm like, I would probably enjoy this World Series way more if I was not a fan of the Dodgers, because what the Jays were
It was a good
doing,
World Series.
yeah.
I'm not trying to front. I think it was very good.
And we're talking before we got on that. I thought they were very evenly matched. Like, for before they started, I thought like, okay, maybe they win in 6. Like, we've been told the whole year that the AL doesn't seem so tough. Maybe they win it in 6, But
Right.
that first game, they just got punched in the mouth, and you're like, oh shit, that they might be in a fight. So, and the fact that our offense just refused to like get anything going consistently. Credit to their pitching too, man. Even though they had the corpse of Max Scherzer and Shane Bieber, sticking it to us, but yeah, I mean, it was a great World Series, especially because we freaking we came up on top, and the way that it happened. I mean, it's all the storylines.
Yeah, I mean the 18 inning game,
and it's Freddie again who does it.
Fuck, dude. Oh, gosh, the stuck ball in Game 6. Oh, imagine! Isn't that crazy? Like 1,000,000 to 1 chance that ball lands right there to get stuck. 1,000,000 to 1.
The amount of people who were just like defeated after that, and like, oh, there's no way they come back and win this series. And after that, and like, they should change the rules and all this. The amount of we should change the rules tweets during this World Series was probably the most ever. Like, stop walking Shohei. Let's change that rule. Like, right, oh my God, right. Why does he get more? Why is he getting so much time to warm up? The ball wedge. Like, why do we have that rule? Like, that's so stupid. They're rigging it. So, yeah.
I don't think it's a rig. I don't think you can argue that's a rig, but I do think that it is ridiculous that that's even possible. I think they should fix Major League stadiums.
If they want to fix the rule, then they can do it in the off season. But I mean, that's the rule.
Well, yeah, like, of course. No, I don't think it should be a rule change. I think, why is there like a little crevice maybe a grounds crew guy can come on a podcast, some podcast, like, oh, there's a reason for whatever the reason is, But like, I just feel like baseball is $1 billion industry. Like, you can't like fix those stadiums. Like, you can't just put a little thing there. So I don't know. I think it's crazy, but I also, both teams had that shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not taking it away from the Dodgers. I just think it's so dumb that this is a storyline that we have to talk about.
Yeah. And the fact that Justin Dean immediately knew the rules and was like, let me put my hands up.
Oh, for sure.
They still had second and third. Like, people are acting like there was 2 outs and nobody was going to score had that play happen the way it did. And there was no outs. They had second and third, no outs.
The Blue Jays had
is right in front of you.
so many opportunities to win. Not in 3 times. If you think about technically, I mean, yeah, butterfly effect, you never know. But the 18 inning game, they, if I'm not mistaken, multiple times had a runner on third with only 1 out. They win that, then technically they sweep the Dodger home games and they win the World Series. Second and third, nobody out in Game 6. You're down by 2, and this is the team that literally has pitched to contact multiple times. I don't know about multiple times. For sure once, obviously, but I think another time, runner on third, only 1 out or no outs in Game 7, and they didn't do. I know that definitely was the case at the bottom of the 9th in Game 7. So that's when the Dalton Varsho ground out that Miguel Rojas. All of a sudden, Miguel Rojas is like the best player in baseball. Home runs, good defensive plays. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think, and to answer Lewis's question here, I think they always had a pitching concern. Last year was the starting pitching. This year it was the bullpen.
Was the pitching because we had no starters. We had Yamamoto and Buehler.
And this year you just had starters. Your bullpen was pretty sure. And Roki did pretty well. Just at the end he got a little shaky, but
And the offense, I mean, that's the thing that, and you can't really defend it because you're like, oh well, they have this huge lineup and stuff. But if you watch them throughout the year, they were so inconsistent. You know what I mean? I know that they had the potential, and there were some games where they did blow up, and so their runs look like, oh, they have a lot of runs, but it was like in certain games, it wasn't like consistent. And we're like, oh, well, we'll just get to the postseason and they're gonna lock in. It's they're gonna go off, and it's like we were waiting for that offense to go off, and it never really did. It sputtered all the way to the end of the line, and somehow the pitching made it stand up. But it wasn't the Jays offense that like, hey, let's get a couple hits, we can get something going. It was like, let's get a homer or we're not scoring kind of thing for the most part.
How funny was the fact that Shohei literally was having historically bad NLCS, and then the last game he had the game of his life and then became NLCS MVP.
I mean, it's just amazing, man. Watching this guy play, like he always does something amazing, and it's like nobody gives a because that's just how the postseason goes, anyways. Like
What did you just say?
What did I say? Because I forgot.
You said nobody gives a damn.
No, what do you mean? Yeah, well, let me finish because I'm not done. I'm saying, no, like nobody gives a damn if you went like 0 for 12. Look at Teoscar. Like he's a boom or bust guy. He can go 0 for 4, and if he hits a home run in that last at bat, everybody forgives him. That's what the postseason is. Yeah. It's all about moments. Right. So everybody forgave Shohei for being completely awful, and then just went off after that.
I think it was how even this World Series was and how deep it went. I think erased the narrative that the Phillies was the World Series. I think that was a narrative going on for a little bit. But I think the Blue Jays, were able to turn that narrative around because of how well they were hitting. And even, Max Scherzer had at least one good game. I don't remember his first thing. Kevin Gausman, man, damn. I really wanted him to really shut shit down, but I think he got L's in both games he pitched. Savage is the man.
That's what I'm saying. Like so many of those storylines, like you have the 22-year-old kid dominate for one game, and then you have the veteran who comes back in game 7, and there's so many cool storylines. Us wanting to beat Scherzer because of suddenly he can go every game. Now that it's a World Series, he can go every game, but he couldn't do that with us. So that's why we wanted to beat him. And the fact that everybody in Toronto was like, how can you hate Springer now? Like if it's any other team,
dude, sure. Why do you guys keep hitting George Springer? What's the deal here?
Well, I don't think it was on purpose, any of them.
There was he got hit like 5 times.
From us? I don't think it was from us. He got hit during the whole postseason like 5 times, I think, but it wasn't us. I think Yoshi hit him once.
I remember like 3 on top of my head from the Dodgers.
But we can all agree that it was a very bitch move from Jimenez to stick his hand out.
Yeah.
And then get mad that he actually got hit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, of course you're gonna get mad if you get hit.
But not if you're trying to get hit.
He also tried to get hit. Correct. I completely agree with you. But if you throw up and in 3 times in a row at somebody, I feel like you're going to get chirped. But at the same time, if you put your hand out and try to get hit and then you get hit, you can't be that upset either.
Yeah, I thought it was weak, but whatever. I thought that's just it was because you're trying to get hit and you're getting base. Like the Dodgers are down. You really think we want to put you on base? Like, come on. And you're the 9th hitter.
Yeah, yeah.
But whatever. That's all we needed in the game 7 too. Bench is clearing.
Yeah. So Blue Jays fans, baby back bitches. What's your take? Speak to all of Canada right now. All right.
I can only speak for like some that I saw on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, and they were very loud. They were very loud while they were up, and some of them have taken a beating. Some of them have really haven't said anything. I don't know.
Like every fan base. So.
Every fan base is like this, and then when you get to a place where you think you're going to win it all, you're going to talk your shit. I don't think they're babies. I think they're just really, really hurt because the game was like they were 2 outs away from winning it all.
They cried a lot about that the lodge ball in the rule. I mean, if it would have happened the other way, it would have been fine. So you can't be that upset about the rule. But I seem to remember not so long ago the Dodgers being really upset because of the format and that they were, basically iced a little bit. And people were talking about changing the format and how it's ridiculous to make it was a disadvantage for the team with the best record to sit at home for 3 days.
I did not see one.
Let's not say the Dodger fans.
No, I didn't see that, and I didn't say anything about the Dodgers.
You didn't see that. You're
no,
high. Are you high right now?
I might be, but I didn't see that. But you're right. They did whine about like, oh, he got extra time and like all this and that. I'm like, guys, like you're in the World Series. Like you guys are complaining about it, and you're up. Like, I don't know. There was some stuff that I didn't feel like engaging with any of them. I did get into a spat with Final Destination actor Devin Sawa. Yeah, he was rooting for the Canadians, and he was talking all kinds of shit, and it was about the Jimenez play, and I'm like, well, he's like, that was so disgusting. I'm like, the attempt at trying to get hit, like, what are you so mad at? But yeah, that was kind of fun. But yeah, no, I mean, I've seen a lot more videos of like Canadians being sad, and I'm not really like, I always skip those videos. I know some Dodger fans are like, no, I want to watch all of it. I want to savor this and all that. And that's fine, dude. The whole like licking the tears like Cartman, but I'm like, I don't hate the Jays apart from like maybe Jimenez, Springer, and Scherzer. I think they have a really good club. I think they're really likable. You can like, it's an exciting team. So yeah. I am not like, I hate them kind of thing. So
Bo Bichette's home run, what was going through your mind?
I was more upset that Shohei was out there. I thought he looked like he was laboring through the first 2 innings. Like he was escaping both innings. It wasn't like he was really like locking it down. And then he comes out for the third and he looked like he was tired. I'm like, why is he out there? It's a game 7. Everybody's at your disposal. Let's hit the button and bring somebody in. And it just didn't work out. He left the cement mixer up there and that thing was crushed.
Yeah, I think Bo Bichette he made $100 million off that one home run, at least.
Yeah,
I feel like that. Like someone's gonna it will go that extra mile. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go 7 years with Bichette or 8 years with Bichette. I'm not sure how old he is.
I think he's 25. 25.
No,
he's no older. Way. Yeah, he's probably older. I wanted him. I wanted him, but like I think Mookie playing shortstop and playing it pretty well kind of put those thoughts to bed. Now I don't think they're moving from shortstop. I think he played too good.
I don't think so either. Unless they think that they really affected his offense because he had a bad offensive year. But
I think it's more his. I think it's more his that he lost 15 pounds and all that stuff that really messed him up. But we'll see next year.
Man, I thought.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that they scored early. That's the only good thing. That kind of 3-run shot late in late innings is a backbreaker. But when you get it like in the 3rd inning or the 2nd inning, there's plenty of time to recuperate and come back. So that was the only good thing about that.
I felt good about it because they also added on. They added on a little bit. It was only like a run, but it was almost like Dodgers scored a run. They added another run to it. So like I thought they were going to be able to hold on to it, but
yeah, but then you were like, they were leaving a lot of opportunities out. They left a lot of runs out there. I think like maybe 2 or 3 runs that if they score any of those, the game's over. Dodgers, there's no way they come back. But yeah, I mean, credit to the Dodgers pitching too. Like they were able to shut it down when they needed to.
So, Bo Bichette's actually going to be 28 next year. He's 27.
Okay, so it's just off by like a lot.
25. Those 20 ages are so huge when it comes to like the bag. You know, like from 26 to 28, there's like $200 million because teams are so willing to overpay because you get more of those like prime years. But 28, I still think he's gonna probably get. I mean, Willie Adames got 7 years, 180, I think it was, and he was 29. He's gonna be 30 next year. So he's at least getting 8 or 9 years.
Yeah, probably. We'll see where he goes. What did you think of the comments by Caleb Joseph after the series was over? He's an analyst for Toronto, and he said the better team did not win. He's like, it's going to sound like sour grapes, but the better team did not win today. And then Kike clapped back today or yesterday. He clapped back with a picture of him holding the trophy and is like, I'm glad the better team didn't win. I'm so glad the better team didn't win, or something like that, which was funny. But
I think that's ridiculous because you have to be on one side or the other. Either the Dodgers are the super team of super teams or they're not.
Yeah.
And I think they're super team of super teams. They literally are stacking and stacking and stacking. I mean, hopefully one day it's going to bite him in the ass that like hopefully Mookie's is staying on the downhill. Freddie turns downhill, and maybe in 50 years Shohei would turn downhill. But
they showed the heart of a champion, dude. It's basically what they did. They willed it to happen because they
willed it to happen. They had the major advantage over every team.
They had no. I'm talking in this series because they could not score a damn run other than freaking hitting home runs.
Bro,
their offense was so bad.
You have Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei.
And they were all pretty. Besides Shohei, they were all pretty.
I don't think you can complain about it though. Like that. That's I don't know. I like I said, you're either the super team of super teams or you're not.
I just don't think it's like, oh, the better team didn't win. Like,
yeah, I would agree.
And they got to find a way to fight back, regardless of how they play or how they win. You got to beat them to not, like Joe Davis said, you got to knock them down to beat it, whatever it is. But they refused to quit. They were both teams are really resilient. But yeah, man, I don't think it's like the better team didn't win. Like, come on, you have to be better to win. Like it.
No, there's no what aspect do the Blue Jays have that's better than the Dodgers? You could maybe argue a bullpen, but not really, because the Blue Jays bullpen isn't the greatest thing in the world either. So
their lineup was miles ahead better than ours this series at least.
Say what?
I know their lineup was miles better than ours at manufacturing runs, and I know you're going to talk about names, and that's great and all. But it doesn't matter if they're not performing.
But that's exactly what if you're saying the better team won, you're supposed to say like on paper, they're supposed to be better. Because obviously if you're just talking about who is actually performing, then the better team always wins because that's the team who wins. But if you're saying the better team like lost and saying like you should have won. That's what that means. Am I crazy? Am I taking crazy pills here?
Are you
That's
crazy?
What that means.
I'm just thinking that they found a way to win, and that's what makes them better. All right, finding a way to win when you're not doing well, when you're struggling to score or whatever. That's how I took it up. They're the better team.
That's the negative. That's the only negative you have of being the Dodgers is you are never an underdog. You are always supposed to win every series. That's the only negative that you could hold against them. So try to say the better team won. It's like, well, on paper, there's no other team like this team. They're the Monstars.
And I was gonna ask, how much harder is it? Let's pretend it's not the Dodgers because you hate the Dodgers, but a team with expectations and that you're supposed to win. How much harder is it when everybody's trying to knock you down and you have those expectations that it's either win or bust? I can make the case that it's not.
It's the same.
That's more. Isn't that way more pressure?
No, I'm not giving you that. There's no way. If you literally have a $500 million payroll, like you can never play that card. Like they're either a super team or they're not. Okay, so like we can let's stop with this. Oh man, they that we really had to band together. No, you didn't have to band together.
Yes, they
You're
did.
stars. Don't give me the we're a ragtag, the Kike with the Ted Lasso Believe headband. Like, oh, you're freaking Ted Lasso's team now. I didn't even watch that show, but I would imagine they're underdogs if this is a show about whatever. So you can never have. You need to just own it and start wearing Monstars style merch.
That's the beauty of baseball. It's not what's on
you need
paper,
to have
right?
Thanos. You need to have Thanos style merch. That's what you need to have.
It's funny because I was gonna make a Thanos type video a while ago, but yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know.
That's why they're the villain. That's why literally every team, not even only maybe like 5-ish years ago. No, maybe a little longer than 5 because you guys have been kind of on top for longer than 5. Maybe like 7 to 8 years ago, and before that, you weren't thought of as like only Giants fans hated the Dodgers. Maybe like Angels fans, and it was always the Yankees, and then obviously the Astros gave themselves a reason for every team in baseball to hate them. But like now they are the super team that everyone hates because they are a super team. That's why everyone hated the Yankees beforehand. So you get to enjoy having a super team winning, pretty much guaranteed winning the division, pretty much guaranteed a deep postseason run. But one thing you can't have ever, I don't care if everyone's on the IL, you cannot play we just got to band together and defeat the odds. The odds are always in your favor, Hunger Games.
It doesn't matter because like
your favor.
You're the Giants, right? You're a good team, whatever. Nobody's trying to give you their best shot every single night. They're not. They're not. Who cares if we lose a game to the Rockies?
Are we going to have the Mark Cuban Skip Bayless conversation right now? Is that what we're going to have? Oh, we didn't.
You can't say that enough.
No.
But you can't say that doesn't exist. Look at the fucking
Yes,
Padres.
you can. You're telling me that you're telling me. You're telling me right now that these players are like, you know what? I'm not going to try that hard. It's just you can maybe make that argument against like the Rockies in the regular season because they're so shitty and you want to try to take. This is the post season. You're going to try to tell me.
I'm talking about the regular season. I'm talking about just this season in general that they dealt with that. Like I said, look at the Padres. Had they played the Dodgers in the first round of the playoffs, they probably play way harder. But when it's not the Dodgers, they always seem
play
to just
hard.
choke.
You think this is a play hard problem?
Yeah, it sure is.
There's no freaking way. This is not a player. I get it. Like there are certain teams that play other teams better because they're either prepared or they just have they see each other all the time.
I just don't think you get up for certain teams that you don't for others. It's human nature. It's human nature.
I can't agree with you there. I just think that they're professionals. And
we're not going to take the human element away from them. These are humans. Like they don't like certain teams. They want to beat certain teams. Like to say that doesn't exist.
No. I'm gonna say no. I'm still gonna say no. I'm sorry.
All right. I mean, I think teams wanted to beat you more when you were going through your dynasty. Fuck these Giants, right? Like they're wearing like, oh, there's such a nice story.
I don't think we were at the point of universally hated though.
Yeah, maybe not. Nobody cares. Nobody wanted to beat Marco Scutaro. You're right.
Marco Scutaro, that's my guy. I because there was like gaps, right? Because the Giants were won every, they didn't even make the playoffs in the years they didn't win the World Series. So they weren't like, they were a dynasty. I mean, there's 3 and 5 years. I don't know how you don't count that as a dynasty, but I don't think they got to the point where they're universally hated.
No, I think you're right. I think it's way different with the Dodgers. You're right.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, especially because the Dodgers are kind of having this Michael Jordan-esque run where everyone was shitting on Michael Jordan because he didn't win one. He was the best player and, got knocked out in the playoffs really early all the time. And then all of a sudden now it's like fucking championship. And it makes you hate them even more.
Yeah, the discourse was like, even in the series itself, when they ended up being down 3-2, it was like, oh, these guys kind of the choker talk was starting to come back.
Exposed. Yeah. And I was like, I saw that and I was like, oh, I really want to jump on that bandwagon right now to make me feel better, but it's gonna bite me in the ass. I'm just gonna
I was like, you a lot of people are like, you can't have both sides. You can't call them chokers, and then when they do something about it, and if they win, you're like, well, no, that doesn't count. That
yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't think anyone who says it doesn't count is doing anything but trolling. I think they're just trolling.
I don't know. Some people seem to be really upset, and they're like, well, you bought your championship, and I'm like, do your players play for free? Like, what do you? I get it. I know what you're saying, but like these guys.
Before we get into that, though, because I feel like this is going to go into a rant because I also have another thing I want to say. But if I'm not mistaken, I just want to answer this question from Lewis. I'm sorry. I feel like we're like neglecting the chat right now. I'm sorry. I feel like didn't Yustavich? Am I crazy? Or did he pitch game 5 or game 6?
He pitched game 5.
Okay.
So he was going on 2 days rest. So, and he's a rookie. I don't think he had ever done that.
Yeah, that's what makes it a little shaky. I mean, not everyone can be Madison Bumgarner and pitch 5 innings out of the bullpen after 2 days rest, but
or Yoshi, who comes in with no rest. But who knows? Like, you don't know if he had just given up a home run to Muncy.
Let's not do this.
So you see you see a little bit of, like, maybe we should take him out here, give up a bomb to Muncy. But who knows? Who knows what would have happened if he stayed? I don't think he was a
shoulda, woulda, coulda, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, that is true. I read that. I saw Giants and I clicked it. Fuck, I feel like I just screwed myself.
That's right.
That is. Now you guys have 9. We have 8. And if anyone that is like, oh, the Giants only have 3, they shouldn't count for New York. It's not my fault that the Brooklyn Dodgers suck and they only had 1. Not my fault. Okay. We're going to include it. That's it. We're going to include it. So we have 8.
Okay, so if you do that, I don't want to hear any of this like half a championship in 2020 then. Because if we're gonna,
I will always say that because I'm talking trash. You know how I feel about it. I say it's legit,
but we're not just talking
trash,
about.
I will always.
We're not just talking about you and me though. We're talking in general, right?
Yeah, but that's also trolling, just talking shit. Here's the thing. Let's be honest, Dodger fans. I know a lot of you are here. Most of you are in here right now. Let's be 1,000% honest. If the Padres won 2020, you'd be saying the same exact thing to try to get under their skin. Let's be real.
I think for trolling purposes, of course. But
exactly, that's it.
But there's obviously a few Padres fans that I don't hate. I actually like, and I would be like, congratulations, good, whatever. I think I would regardless. But you're right. I would be trolling hard if it was them. I would be trolling hard if it was you guys.
Exactly.
So I get the trolling part, but
every team wanted to win that World Series.
I mean, there's some people that don't troll. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and there's, I don't want to say every championship is way different, but like everyone had the same shot. That's why another thing that I cannot stand when people go the opposite way and they'll say, actually, that was the hardest World Series because there was an extra team in there and an extra round. Like, I just stop. There's no way you have any basis of saying that. So just,
I do think there's some merit and
in what,
but like I said, everybody had the same situation. But exactly. like the NBA said, they're like isolation was fucking terrible. Like having to be in that hotel for whatever. It's probably a luxury hotel.
NBA played their full season.
And then I know,
had to go into the bubble.
But this is players saying that it was still rough being in a place for so long.
I'm not saying that it was easy. I'm not saying it was easy because no matter what, you're still competing. But everyone was in that same situation.
Yeah, that's my point too. Like everybody,
it's not like you had an advantage or a disadvantage. You weren't the only one who was isolated. Like every team was. So like every team had the same disadvantage. So miss me with that. Yeah. So there's a couple. I forgot exactly. Oh, here's one thing I do want to say. Dodgers win the World Series. Bad for baseball? Question mark. Where are you going?
No, how could it possibly be bad for baseball? Did you
Let
see
me
the
tell you why.
ratings? Did you
Let me
see
tell
the
you why.
ratings?
Let me tell you why. Can I tell you why?
All right.
Why it's very
You
bad for
can tell me
baseball?
why it's so bad for baseball.
I will tell you exactly why it was terrible for baseball that the Dodgers win the World Series.
All right,
Not
let's hear it.
biased. Obviously, it's bad for me, even if it was the best World Series of all time, whatever. We had some stuff going on. We probably should have podcasted a little more, during this whole time. I felt like we didn't touch on this. Might be a little old news, but how ridiculous did the Dodgers act when they clinched the pennant and they won the world? They went to the World Series. They literally acted like it was Tuesday afternoon. It was like they celebrate harder for a walk-off win than they did going to the World Series. So they're literally treating a World Series like, whatever. So I think that is terrible for baseball.
I don't. You know what? It doesn't matter because
Yes, it does matter.
They had just won one, right? They know what it takes to get there again.
So they're literally saying, World Series, we made it there.
If they want a golf
womp.
Well, first of all, they swept the Brewers, so it wasn't like this big grueling series where like we're going back and forth and like thank God we won it. Like they were either going to win that day or they're going to win the next day.
Don't give me this, especially when Dave Roberts didn't even know the quote. All right, as Kobe said,
but then Canada tried to take it for themselves too. So let's not, whatever. But the point is, like, job wasn't finished, and that's they were
it is bad.
They handle it like professionals.
To act like the World Series is, it's literally like Rob Manfred calling the World Series trophy a piece of metal. That's exactly how they treated it.
You know what? It's even better that they did it because it made all the salty fans mad because they would have been like, my team would have celebrated like this.
Bad
and you know what
baseball.
they did? You know what they did? Whatever. If
bad
because of the
for
if guys. So stay salty. They celebrated with the golf clap, and I'm glad they did because it pissed everybody else off. All right? They're like, we're going to celebrate, and we're going to celebrate hard in another in Canada.
Oh gosh, that is so.
We're gonna piss off.
Like to act like the World Series is like, yeah, I guess I'll see if I have any plans to make sure that we're there. Maybe I won't play all the games. I don't know.
Andy Pajes was so nonchalant that he threw away the last ball to the stand. And everybody's like, well, job's not finished. And I'm like, that's cool, but I'd like to keep that ball if I was Roki. But
no. This is not a Blue Jays versus Dodgers thing. This is go check every pennant clinching game. Every team since the dawn of time was very excited to make it to the World Series.
I'm gonna go back
and the Dodgers treated it like, I guess.
I'm gonna go back and check the Yankees one. I'm gonna see when they went back, and I'm gonna see how they celebrated. If they were professional or if they lost their shit because they just made it again. So.
Yeah, I'm sure they did lose their shit. I don't even have
to see. But that's and the fact that Jared Carabas was like, I'm choosing the Jays because of how the Dodgers celebrate. I'm like, that's so stupid. Come on, dude.
No,
like if you want to pick the Jays, that's fine. You've seen them play, them because they play in your division. That's fucking fine. But to say because of how they celebrate, I was like, come on, that makes no sense.
I'll be honest with you. As a baseball fan, not even even if the Yankees did this, if anybody else did this, I would say the same fucking thing. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna look for a reason to hate the Dodgers doing anything because it's the Dodgers. But if I was if that was any other team, I would say the same shit. Like, how is a World Series yawn? Like, I don't know.
Everybody has different set of rules for the Dodgers. And I'm fed up.
No, that's the Dodgers having their own set of rules.
Nah.
That's
I see it all the time. When what's his name? Guerrero was crying, everybody felt bad. But when Roki cries, everybody laughs at it. When Kershaw had a bad moment, the entire city of San Diego
that's the
was on their phone.
People has made fun of people for crying.
When Kershaw had that blown game, or not blown, when he was just completely annihilated. Game 2 was it, or whatever it was? I forgot what game it was that he just got completely shelled. They
Right.
couldn't wait. Oh, one last moment for Kershaw. Oh, he couldn't leave without blowing it. Oh, he couldn't. Like, okay, if you shut up then. You always want us to treat stuff differently than you do, and I'm not gonna stand for it anymore. So you left that rookie for crying, but then you change the rules when it's somebody else. So no, I don't care.
No,
You wanted
I
us to
think
celebrate differently. Too fucking bad. Maybe
I
watch
think
your own team get there, and then you can celebrate however the hell you want. Shit, if you
I
guys want to go
think
streaking, well, whatever you want to do.
let's
But
go
you didn't
streaking.
make it. You didn't make it, so I don't care if you're upset
I
that we celebrated with the golf clap.
I'm not upset. I just think it's terrible for baseball that the
No,
World
you
Series
literally
is
said it pissed you
yawn.
off. You're like, as
It
a
probably pissed
baseball
me off.
fan,
It
it
probably-
pissed me.
I read.
And it's the fact it's the Dodgers. Like, if somebody else
Well,
did it, they'd be like,
no. Let's
no,
chill
because if
here.
it was somebody else, they'd be like, "Oh, look how cool and collected they are." They're really focused.
No. There's no way. Absolutely
If the
not.
Jays celebrated like that, they would have been like, "Oh, look how focused they are. Oh, this guy, these are
No.
killers. These are
I don't
killers. They're
think
gonna
so.
win."
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's just
No, absolutely not. There's no way. I think anyone would have hated that.
I
Anyone
didn't.
would have hated that.
I mean, I didn't.
Well, just because it's the Dodgers. If it's the Dodgers, everything's okay.
I thought it was whatever. I'm like, all right, now let's get to if you
It
don't win the
was-
World Series, then they'll probably clown you for that too. But
I'm saying
It
it's
didn't
bad
happen.
for baseball, and this is to answer my guy's question here. I'm saying it's bad for baseball to act like the getting to the World Series is yawn.
you know what? I'd actually go a completely opposite and say it's good for baseball because it made people. No, hold on. It made people like you and many other baseball fans upset. And what did they do? They're like, I can't wait to see this team lose. So I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna tune into the World Series, and even casual fans tuned in. There was a lot of
that's a
casual fans
terrible-
watching this year.
That's a terrible thing.
There was a lot of hate. There was so much hate watching. So much.
Yes,
the
there
point
was
that-
hate watching because people hate the Dodgers regardless how they would
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So-
And that irked them even more. And they're like, you know what? I really want them to lose. So
Yes.
I
But
want to see
say it's
somebody else
because of people
actually
like
celebrate.
me, I'm gonna watch the World Series regardless. I watched the
Well,
Diamondbacks Rangers
yeah.
World Series.
I did not. Not
And
all.
that was honestly kind of a snooze fest. Like that was not only was it like boring team, which is fine. I like underdog teams, but it was just
That's how we know people are liars. Because you see the ratings for that, and they're like, "Oh, we want
Oh.
parity. We want my team to be in there." Nobody watches. Nobody cares.
but
Like
but it is true. When dynasties happen, the ratings go up. Same thing with the Warriors. Same thing with it's just the way it is.
you
But-
always need a villain, correct? Just like
Yes.
the Kansas City Chiefs.
But
And
it
if
is
the
bad for
Eagles-
baseball to act like the World Series is a yawn fest. The pennant is a yawn fest. That is bad for baseball.
I don't think so.
Bad for baseball. Little jumping dot. That's what I think. Do
I
I,
don't-
think
I don't
it's
know if-
bad for baseball? Do I think it's bad for baseball for the Dodgers to spend as much as they're spending? I don't think it's. I wouldn't say it's terrible for baseball, but let's also not act like every team can do it. You can say that the Rays are bad while also saying the Dodgers going crazy like this isn't exactly the best thing for baseball either. Sorry.
See, I could agree
Sorry.
with you with like the
Right.
Rays because they constantly try, and there's for the most part they're constantly in the playoffs. But when I hear a Pittsburgh fan saying this and woe is me, and it's like you guys don't give multi-year contracts. You're freaking releasing guys before they reach some goals so they can get more money. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have it both ways. Like, either you're with your owner or you're against them. Because if you want a cap, you're just giving in to these owners so they don't have to spend as much.
One thing I do want to highlight also brings up a good point here about Ohtani making the money back. This is twofold.
I think that was
One-
correct. I don't think he made it all back. That wasn't the case. But regardless, they did make money back already.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sorry. The amount of advertisements I've seen at Dodger Stadium is ridiculous. This is what I was thinking. One, what the hell what were the Angels doing? Like to be making all this money, which they didn't make as much as the Dodgers did, but to be making all that money and not invest it in your team to be good is actually insane. And two, this also proves the statement, not everyone can spend like the Dodgers. So I think people misunderstand things. I've seen posts about like, oh my gosh, anyone could have had Kike. No one's mad that the Dodgers have Kike. Things like, oh, anyone could have signed and traded for Max Muncy. No one's mad at the Dodgers for Max Muncy. Everyone's mad at the Dodgers for signing Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow, basically putting them on the shelf, like spending $30 million a year to being like, we don't care if you pitch during the regular season. You could just sit on the bench for months and months. Just, we need you here in October. Okay. So that's why everyone's upset.
But
And no other team can do, like, let's stop acting like other teams can do what the Dodgers do.
oh, that's fine. But let me give you some pushback. How come nobody did sign Blake Snell? Why did he have to take a 1-year prove it deal with you guys? You know what I'm saying? Why did he do that? Why did nobody else step up and be like,
teams offered him multiple year contracts, but it wasn't as much as he wanted.
exactly? He didn't have the market. Nobody wanted to give him more money, right? And
the Dodgers did, because they are okay with telling Blake Snell, hey, it's cool that you don't pitch 4 months out of the year. We don't care. We just want you there for October.
Regardless, like even
a lot of teams, no other team can do that. No, that's not true. Only like 3 teams could do that.
Glasnow, he was traded here.
And also Glasnow.
Regardless.
But also, I also want to maybe even like kind of soften the Glasnow thing, because Glasnow is not making 35. He's making closer to 20, which,
yeah,
in today's baseball economy, you can probably have 20 million like on the show.
And Teo too, like, you know, he was a postseason hero last year. Nobody wanted to give him money. It was basically the Blue Jays. It was basically the Blue Jays.
That's not true. He literally accepted. People were always talking about how he accepted less money to be on the Dodgers.
Well, it was between the Blue Jays and the
Yamamoto. Yamamoto was offered more money by different teams. Phillies, I want to say another other team. So let's also not pretend that any team could have had these guys.
So then, if that's the case, if we're saying that's the case, what did people think?
That was fact.
No, but what do people think the salary cap is going to do? If guys are willing to take less money, what do they think is going to happen? Like, do they really think they're going to be like, oh yeah, let me go make the same amount of money with the Pittsburgh Pirates or with whoever it is, and not have a chance at anything?
No,
or go to the Dodgers.
I don't think the amount. I don't think people want players to make less. I just think that there's plenty of fans and teams that are like, okay, well, everyone can't play for the same team. That's problem.
Fine. But if what you're saying is true and you're saying it's fact, these guys aren't even choosing other teams when they have the chance. So even if the money's not like, even Kim,
and you're joining the Monstars.
Even Ha-Seong Kim, who's a bench player, who could have had a starting job anywhere else, including the Angels, was like, I want to pick the Dodgers. I want to go to the best organization. So what is the cap going to do if guys are willing to take cuts then? How are they going to fight this? Because the Dodgers are just going to find a way to go around it. You know, they're still going to find the players that they want.
From what I'm understanding, is people are saying that you should deferred contracts shouldn't affect salary caps. Luxury tax. There should be a salary cap, which I don't really necessarily disagree with. If there's a salary cap, there needs to be a salary floor. But also the salary cap should be pretty high. I don't think there should be a $300 million salary cap.
Yeah, I like the whole deferring thing. Like, that's just insurance for the player. What player does not want that? Like, what happens if
nobody wants deferred contracts? Nobody wants deferred contracts.
I mean, you're still going to get money in the future. You're gonna have
guys are willing to do deferred contracts because, oh shoot, like, you know, I want to be on a team that's constantly in the postseason where I don't necessarily have to try to rush to get back because they don't give a shit about me pitching. You know, the Giants needed Blake Snell to pitch all year, and that's kind of what, you know, messed up part of his season. Dodgers
Yeah.
don't care. They literally don't give two shits about the regular season. I think
And
that's bad for baseball too.
it really all comes down to Shohei, because literally anybody
It
who
does.
signed Shohei
100%.
had Shohei chosen anybody else, because we know that he eventually just wanted the Dodgers. He gave the Angels the choice, and it was really them two, and already said no. How true that is, we'll never know. But the fact that he said no and he went to the Dodgers, had he gone to anybody else and gave them that deal and said, "I'm just going to defer everything and get $2 million," that team would be doing the same exact thing. Like, but that's Shohei. It's not a Dodgers problem. Like, if you take away Shohei and the other contracts are deferred, I don't know if everybody has as much of a problem with it. It's just the fact that it accumulates. But look at Juan Soto. What if he did that? They spent a shit ton on him. What if he was
He
like,
didn't
you know
defer
what?
any
Let
money,
me.
though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if he had done that? And he could have. He just didn't want to. Why would he? Right? So I don't know. I think it's just a Shohei problem. It's not like, the whole deferment thing. I don't know. I think it's because his is deferred so much. That's the problem people have with it.
Normally, we're excited to see you back. I hope so. I hope Mookie Betts is just going downhill. I hope Freddie. I thought Freddie had kind of a down year, but actually it wasn't bad at all. After I looked at the numbers, it just was minimized by how good Shohei was. So
I think they need to start doing a lot of load management, dude. They need to learn from Kawhi.
Start?
At least Freddie, dude, he plays every single day. He's got to take a couple of days off. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I agree. We need to start getting some of these prospects up and seeing what they can do, because, yeah, these guys are getting up there in age, and they're playing longer than anybody else consistently now. So the offseason becomes shorter and shorter for them to rest. And yeah, you're going to need some other guys to step up, hopefully younger guys. The guys in the minors, that's expensive, but yeah, we'll see.
The most inflated farm ranking ever is every year with the Dodgers. All of a sudden, they always have like 6 dudes that are in the top 100 but never make the major leagues. Boom! I said,
hey, we got the guy that you traded for Devers. Watch him just be a stud, dude.
Be a fucking stud. That was such. Well, they say he's supposed to be a Conforto, so you guys did really
yeah,
good
like
Conforto, so
like what what X is saying here, like teams tank on purpose to get bad. Like that's bad too. Like
Pirates and Rays, they're forever doing this shit.
The Astros fake dynasty only happened because they tanked for so long.
And wait, they were a fake dynasty because they drafted well?
No, because they cheated for one of them, so they can't have a dynasty.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
My bad, fam. That's on me. That's on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, pay your players.
Or what?
I'm not saying don't pay your players. I'm just saying there is also an argument. Like, I just get a certain way when Dodger fans are like, oh, any team could have signed, the Rays could have signed Blake Snell. The Rays could have signed Tyler Glasnow. They could have signed one of them maybe. And those guys are always on the shelf, so they can't spend $30 million a year on someone like that doesn't pitch 4 months out of the year. Like, I understand the Rays can spend
But then why are you
more.
mad?
I think the Rays can spend more, but no one except for maybe the Mets, because Steve Cohen's insane, can spend Dodger money. That's just true. Like, I get it. Yes, multiple things can be true at once. The Rays need to pay more. The Pirates need to pay more. But
the Marlins,
the Dodgers are literally the Monstars. They're the Monstars.
The Marlins had like a warning from MLB because their payroll was so freaking low. I think it was at the beginning of this year or something. Like, come on, like there's certain stuff that it's horrible for the sport as well. Like there could be two ends of the spectrum and both can be bad. But everybody just chooses with the Dodgers. Like we said, during the middle of the World Series, you get
don't play the victim. Don't play the victim on me.
No, during the middle of the World Series, you heard people saying that Tarek Skubal was getting lowballed and that Willie Peralta was going to be shopped. And
that's true because that's always Milwaukee. That's the same thing. Milwaukee can't spend Dodger money. They can spend more, 100%, but they also do give out some. I mean, they signed Christian Yelich. You know what I mean? Like they signed some guys. They just can't spend it. Well, they could do more, 100%, but they also can't spend Dodger money. So, I don't know what they would have to do if they were trying to do a cap. Maybe they would, because
It's just never gonna happen, dude. There's just no
I can't
way
see it
they're
happening
gonna
either.
agree to that.
No.
There might be some like tweaks here for like the deferred, like how much you can defer and stuff, but even then, I just don't see it changing that much. And the sport is doing so well, dude. You have people who are casuals. You have stars from other sports like Caitlin Clark. It was like, oh, what a game! Luka Doncic watching it. Like you have so many eyes on the sport. Why would you stop it? Why would you hurt yourself? So I just can't see it happening. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
I can see it, and it is good for numbers in the league for a dynasty. People really want to root against it. You know what I mean? So like, of course, it's good for numbers. I just think it's my statement was the Dodgers win the World Series is bad for baseball because they acted like getting the World Series wasn't anything. I think that's trash. I don't know if you've ever seen. There's this one video of this altercation by someone in Costco. People were arguing, and the daughter was like, "That's trashy. That's trashy." And that's all I think of. That's trashy.
Well, you're a Giants fan. I would expect no less. If you had no problem with it, I assume there's something wrong with you.
And it's the truth. I can't see them doing a cap, but what I do think, I don't know, because no matter what the luxury tax is or the penalties, the Dodgers are gonna say, "Fuck you, we're paying it anyways." It's like ultra rich people getting speeding tickets. Like, okay, Shohei Otani's making us $500 million a year. You think we care? Do you honestly think we give two shits about a luxury tax of a couple million a year? We don't care.
I mean, if they're winning, I don't think they'll give a damn at all. Really.
I'm telling you. Well, I don't think. Let's be honest. Let's be really, really real here. If they were winning, but not making the money off Shohei, they would not be spending this much money. I mean, kudos to them for reinvesting their money, reinvesting the money they are making.
They reinvested. Yeah.
Yeah, that big kudos to them. I'm not taking away from it, but let's also not pretend it's because they're winning. It's because they're making a lot of money off of it. And granted, winning also brings in a lot of money. Two pretty much go hand in hand. But the Dodgers are probably making more money than any other franchise ever because of Ohtani.
Yeah.
There's no other player that makes a team more money than Ohtani. I can't. Maybe LeBron. I don't know.
And it's going to get worse for MLB fans because what bigger endorsement to come to the Dodgers if you're a Japanese kid or somebody in the league right now than what Yamamoto did, than what Roki did, and Shohei. Like, Yamamoto became a legend, dude. And I think he became a legend in those kids' eyes that are over there in Japan because he's like, he went in the next game and it's just some heroic stuff. Regardless of what team you root for, that shit's heroic. The fact that he said, like, I'm ready to go, give me the ball, whatever I have, I'm giving it to you, and he ended the series like that. It's just, amazing. So the amount of kids that he just made fans of over there and are going to want to be Dodgers simply because he wore a Dodger uniform and won with them, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I think so too, but I think it was, at least with Ichiro, it was a little overblown. I think, multiple Japanese stars signed with other teams and didn't sign with the Mariners, and Ichiro was the biggest thing before Ohtani. Ohtani I think is on another stratosphere just because of who he is. Ichiro was an extremely good baseball player, but there's baseball players like him. There's better baseball players than him. There's nobody like Ohtani.
The fact that
it's a whole nother level.
Yeah, and the fact that they won the whole thing and they've won it twice, they don't know heartbreak yet, at least in MLB. That's crazy. Right. Yamamoto came in, there's no heartbreak just yet. But I just think that's really cool. How
do you know that the good old days were the good old days?
Exactly.
You're in them. So many words. Soto slumped extensively. I'm going to sort of disagree with you there. I think he had a really good year.
I think he started off.
Soto does.
Yeah, I think he started
Soto
off.
Was Soto. He walked a lot. Didn't he hit? Am I crazy, or did he hit almost 40 home runs? Or was that only with the Yankees?
No, I think he ended up with like.
Am I crazy? Am I the drama? Am I the problem here? Let's find out. Juan Soto
43.
stat.
43.
Yeah, 43 home runs. I'm guessing his OBS is probably at or close to 400. What the hell? Oh, it's
But yeah, no, I
postseason.
mean, they didn't make the playoffs though, dude. So I don't care what his
Yeah, but
stats
that's
are.
not on Soto. 43 home runs, on base percentage at
They were
400 with a
playing the
920
Marlins though.
OPS. I'm sorry.
Come on.
What?
They were playing the Marlins and they needed a win to get in. Like, come on. What do you mean it's not on Soto? It's on Soto, it's on
It's
Lindor, it's
not
on all
on
their
Soto.
stars. It's
I'm
on all
sorry,
of them.
but if your pitching, your starting pitching is slumping, what the hell is Juan Soto going to do about it?
Hit bombs, outscore the opposition.
Hit 4 home runs.
It's the Marlins
4
and there's
grand
like
slams
12,
with nobody on base.
yeah, it's the Marlins and 12 fans in the stands, and you couldn't
I'm sorry.
get a serious win.
Baseball, you cannot like, I don't know. I can't see that. So
yeah, no, he had a great year, but still,
he had a
they didn't
great
make
year.
the playoffs, and it kind of goes against your whole money. Money is everything in sports because they spend a bunch of money and didn't make
big
the
if
playoffs.
true normally. I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I just don't think you could will yourself to a championship in baseball. Like, it's not basketball, you know. The bullpen sucks. The bullpen sucks. I know there's multiple times I saw that dude, that Barstool dude from is that Mets fan, Frank? I saw him crash out on the bullpen multiple times. So.
I can't stand him, dude.
It's one of those you gotta watch those videos though. I don't know. I don't know
if be performative because it's just too much.
I don't think it's performative. I think it's a company taking advantage of somebody who have some.
The whole biting the glasses all the time, like, all right, dude.
I think that's more of a tick, like a medical type issue that that Barstool is exploiting. So
yeah, man, go ask for loans and investors if you need to sign players.
If you're the Rays, you ain't making it. Let's just be real. Yeah, and listen, what's the Rays paid for Franco, but like that was an extreme steal before he turned out to be a pedo. Like, at the time, that was an extreme steal. Then it turns out sucks to be the Rays.
I mean, you also have teams like
a little bit
Braves.
of research.
You give teams like the Braves that give pennies for contracts, and everybody
That's
applauds.
Smart though. I mean, you can't
see everybody applauds them. Like, oh, that's great. Okay. Well, then other players want to get paid what they want to pay, and only a certain team wants to do it. So
that's not true. Only one team can do it.
Now, only one team wants to do it. Okay.
That, of course.
No, it is funny because I did also get into a spat with a Giants fan, and he was talking about the payroll thing, and I'm like, you guys tried it excessively and were rejected. Arson Judge was a Giant for like a hot minute. Who else? You guys try to go? I forgot who else you guys try to go. You got Yamamoto.
We went after.
No, thank you.
So to act like a $300 million payroll is the same as a $500 million payroll is insane.
But you went after the same players, right? You went after them. Don't be salty that they didn't sign with you, because had they signed with you, you wouldn't care about
that
if
we sign Yamamoto and we traded for Devers, we would still be under the payroll tax.
And that's a you problem. Sign more players.
That's what I'm saying. Not the argument is not that the Dodgers shouldn't have signed players. The argument is only one team has this advantage that they could sign all these players. Only one team has.
Dude. Ask them to defer it. If you ask nicely, they'll consider it.
If you put on a pretty please.
Yeah.
As my son goes,
to order my Paul Skeens Dodgers jersey. I don't know, man. The way things are going, the Pirates are probably not going to pay him, and then when they trade him, they're going to be like, "Oh, see, you made us do this," and pretend that they're the victims in all of this.
Yeah,
so, we already know that.
Yeah, the Mets. I think the Mets is the counter to this, because the Mets have a $400 million payroll. So I mean, it's still not the same, but it's getting pretty close.
And the Jays weren't this ragtag team. They were top 5 in payroll. All right. So they
Yeah, but
spent money
top
as
five in
well.
payroll was still like 200. It's like almost half of what yours is.
Yeah, but at least they tried. And look, with them trying, look where it got them. They got into the World Series. So
Yes, and that's my point. Like, you can't expect to have the league change to you when you're spending $30 to $80 million a year on payroll, but you also can't ignore that you have a, I don't want to say unfair advantage, but an extensive advantage when you're able to spend 500 million.
I guess
Two things can be true at once.
I wish the Yankees weren't broke anymore, so they could also spend, and then it wouldn't just be us. But
the Yankees
they're broke.
Shouldn't be crying about the luxury tax. You are right.
Yeah,
you are correct. I mean, I don't know how much you want to get into Giant. I mean, this is basically the Dodger episode. I get it.
I mean,
but no, they're not going to sign a lefty right now. I don't think they're going to be too lefty heavy. I think they need a righty. I honestly feel like Bo Bichette would be perfect if you slot him in a second. He's a contact guy. That's like, the Giants are starting to have a lot of power guys. There's a lot of swing and miss. Adames, Devers, Chapman on a lower level, but still Chapman, that's part of his game. Bryce Eldridge is going to be the same way. And I think they need some contact guys, especially a righty. And I'm hoping, I think Bo Bichette could be that guy, but I just don't see them doing that.
Hey, speaking of Giants and players who didn't make the top 3 in Cy Young finalists, Logan Webb, huh?
Insane. That's insane.
Hey, guess
hold
on before you go off on that.
My guy Logan Webb here.
Hey, guess who became a champion before Logan Webb? And he was just on your team last year. Michael Conforto becomes a champion.
Oh, I thought you were
before
Logan.
Webb.
No, that makes it worse. Michael Conforto got an A on it. You know what was really funny? I don't even recognize this dude. Some dude that played for LSU. I guess is on the Dodgers. And
Paul Gervais. He came over in the Tampa Bay Rays deal. Yep, he was a minor leaguer. Pitched 2 games against Colorado, and before he was sent back down. And I saw the graphic. It was awesome.
Yeah, I saw the graphic for it, and then he retweeted it and said, "I got an A on the group project."
Yeah, I think a lot of Dodger fans were like,
so many of the Dodger players could use.
We're like, still a fan, bro. I mean, still a champ, bro. Still a champ.
Yeah. So I mean, Michael Conforto could use that. Kirby Yates could use that. Tanner Scott might not even be able to use. Like, that was in spite. I mean, he tried as hard as he could to.
I think you guys need someone with the championship pedigree in that locker room. So fuck it, go sign Michael Conforto, dude. He knows what it's all about.
Run it back, baby. You don't need Kyle Tucker when you got the Conforto.
Conforto train coming in. Yep.
Well,
yeah.
I think that's it, guys. I think it's been fun. This year has been really shitty, especially for me.
And
my whirlwind watching all of my second favorite teams lose over and over and over until the Dodgers won.
And I will say on this side, obviously I'm elated. I am over the moon that we won the World Series. And I think one of the things I'll take with me from this season is really watching a lot of these games with my boys. They watched a couple last year, but it wasn't the same. This year they were like locked in. They stayed up with me for that 18-inning game, and I could see their faces when they were when they lost, and it was just like, this sucks kind of thing. And when we were celebrating the World Series, the win, I looked over and my youngest was crying, so it kind of hit him hard, and I was like, oh my god, the emotions really got to him, and I got to me. So it was really cool. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget Miggy Rowe being a hero, and all these great storylines. The sad part is, the bittersweet part is that it's over, and the team, for the most part, we'll get a lot of the same team back, but this version is gone for this year, and it's a little bit bittersweet to know that there's no more baseball. But what a fun ride ending in the best way possible for us and all of LA and Dodger Nation. So really glad that you guys came on here, spent some time with us.
Yes.
Saw my joy, Jesse's sadness and sorrow, and who knows, maybe in 30 years the Giants will be competitive again and they'll win one, and we'll celebrate it with him maybe. But until then, it's all LA all the time, baby.
Thank you for everyone who came and saw me like.
We didn't get into that, but do you know what it's like to see a guy that you love just completely shit the bed outing after outing, and you can't defend him? Like, oh man.
Oh man. What? Yamamoto knows Spanish? And I think, I mean, if
he said buenas tardes.
Well, I mean, since he won World Series MVP. 1, 2, 3.
This is a banger, dude. They needed to put this in the stadium.
Fuck that guy.
Next year they have
to. I think they do. They like play like the beginning of it,
song,
like,
but not the actual lyrics. He added the
lyrics.
You gotta, yeah.
All right. Well, we've been on here for a minute. We should probably let everyone go. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast and all your favorite podcasting platforms. We really appreciate it. It helps us grow. If you're mostly everyone's on here is usually on Twitter. I did put the YouTube link in the comments. Please go over there, hit the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate it. You get to have the World Series trophy under your picture for one more year. And I hope you never get it again.
I actually have to add a second one. So
you're gonna add two? Yeah, no, we usually change the background a little for the
new season.
Year,
and we'll try to be around more often during the off season and just get the crap and see what's going on. Because
both of us got 2 boys. Mine are super little, and life happens. So, and this is probably the worst time for life to happen, because probably should have been a little more for the world. I get it, but life happens, is what it is. And
you didn't need us talking your ear off when you guys were stressed about the Dodgers.
No, you do. You need us. All right. We are the voice of a generation. We are your voice. Okay. So come hang out with us. We're going to talk about the off season. We're going to see how many guys the Dodgers sign and how crazy it is that they have like 14 roster spots on a 26-man roster. It makes no sense, but they keep signing guys. They're probably going to sign a bunch more. But until then, next week, maybe we might screw around and do it at the end of the week. Follow us on your socials, and you'll see when we are on. So, Dave, anything before we're out?
Back-to-back champions, baby. Enjoy it. Talk shit all off season, and we'll see you next time.
You got the bragging rights. That's fine. You can have it now. Next year, Willie Adames hitting 30 again. Devers hitting 35 again. Bryce Elder's going to be Rookie of the Year. Tony Vaiello, new manager. We're gonna do it.
All right.